and said he was, Aurelia answered. I'm glad she finally told the truth, the whole of it, to the law in Dodge City. And anyhow, I'm not scolding. Nothing of the sort. Pink-faced in the lamplight and rocking fiercely, her winged gold-brown brows locked in a frown, she went on. I do understand. But we're Meg's friends. We're as close as family, nigh sisters. She could have told us the truth, the same as we've told her about ourselves. She's dear to us. We would have protected her, no matter what. Maybe this wasn't going to be so bad, Meg thought. She smiled. Thank you, Aurelia. But I believed not telling was the right thing at the time. It'll bother me the rest of my life that lad, just a boy, had to kill Frank Finch to protect me. I pray that nothing like that'll ever happen again. When all is said and done, you have protected me, even though you didn't know my secret. You've helped me build a home, a whole new life out here in western Kansas. Paragon Springs wouldn't have seen the light of day without help from all of you. She hesitated. There's one more thing. You have children? Aurelia sat forward, nearly upsetting the rocker. They all stared, waiting. No, children, although one of the reasons I'm going back to St. Louis to divorce Ted Malloy is that I'd like to meet someone, get married, and have a family, like the rest of you have. As long as she was legally tied to Ted Malloy, she was living a form of bondage and would remain in danger. If he should find her, everything she'd worked hard to gain would be his as her husband. That was law. He'd rule her with brutality again. She cleared her throat. My real name is not Meg Brennon. I had to give up using my true name, Cassidy Rose Curran Malloy, to avoid being found. There was a thick silence as they pondered that, and then Emmeline asked, What do you want us to call you from now on, dear? Her brown, exotic features broke into a quiet smile of concern. You've always been Meg to us. Emmeline looked worn out, and Meg regretted bringing this on her. On top of her duties as newspaper editor and school teacher, Emmeline was raising her 2 children alone and caring for her elderly father, who wasn't at all well. She'd been up with him several nights in a row. Cassidy would seem like a stranger, Lucy Ann was saying, her blonde head bobbing. But we could call you that if you want, Meg. It's your true name. Meg shook her head. The young person I once was is a stranger to me, too. I'm used to being called Meg, and I'd like for you to keep calling me that. They all looked relieved not to have to grapple with a strange name for someone they thought they knew very well. Hearing that she had a past they never would have guessed was enough. I'll worry about all of you when I'm away, she told them, beginning to pace again. Nervous fingers pushed back her hair. Things seem quiet this winter, but you never know when Jack Ambler will stir things up again. From the beginning, she'd been the women's leader and the one to encourage other settlers to homestead around their little settlement of Paragon Springs. With everyone's help and Aurelia's excellent cooking, she'd made their sod shanties, dugout, and corrals into a road ranch where travelers could spend the night, be fed good meals, and replenish their supplies from the mercantile store. Jack Ambler, first to come to that area, owned the huge Rocking A cattle ranch in the Pawnee Valley, 11 miles northeast of them. He'd done everything possible to harass them and others into not staying, believing the open range was his alone to use. He was violently against the range being cut up into small farms and towns. Last month, 2 of his hirelings, an ugly, vicious, weak-brained pair, had shot at Meg and killed her team of horses, hoping to frighten her and her friends into leaving the country for good. That's when she realized that she had to let her own past out into the open so that she could go to the law whenever she needed them. The horse killers, Hammett and Fry, were serving time in Dodge City. Jack had been away at the time they'd shot her team and supposedly had not given that specific order. But she knew, wherever he was now in December, that the problems from him wouldn't end until he accepted that she and the other homesteaders were there to stay, to build their homes and communities, and that he'd lost. All of you have your own chores, your places to keep up. I hate to ask you to take over my ranch chores, too. My work at the quarry and the freight line. They shushed her into silence. You don't have to ask, Meg.